Today what we're going to look at is ASCII codes. ASCII codes are secret, not really so secret obviously, but secret codes that you can embed in your code, whatever it may be, a script language or markup language, to display special characters. Like for example, we have many different languages around the world, and there are special symbols that go with those, for their alphabets. And you could theoretically, hand code in all the special characters using ASCII codes. But if you're going to do that, there's an easier way of doing it, which is most browsers, HTML5 today, they can automatically pick up the coding for the language and display that stuff. So it's not an issue anymore. We used to have to declare that in the head of the web page, like a different type of encoding for different languages, but you don't have to today because it's so large now, the normal default set, that it includes all languages. But there are still times you might want to put in a special character, like a copyright symbol or a trademark or something like that, and that's when you would want to use an ASCII code. If you want to use a special character like a copyright symbol, for example, I'd recommend going online, searching HTML ASCII code, and you can find there's a bunch of different tables. And so it might take a little trial and error to find the actual code that will work. But there is an actual table for HTML ASCII codes. And you'll notice here I have one up. And there's a couple of ways that we could designate it, but I want you to use the HTML number. I think it can be confusing sometimes if you use the HTML name. So for example, if I want to use copyright, it's 169. And how we designate that in the code is with the ampersand, pound, and then the number, and then a semicolon. And you can post that anywhere you want in your code, where people can see, so that would be nested within the body. And it doesn't need any special angle brackets or anything like that. So we can just go in here and do pound number 169. Whoops, I gotta do ampersand first. Ampersand pound 169 semicolon. And if you do that and save it, and then if we go and view our web page, if I go down and find my link, we should see the copyright symbol. And it's very small, but there it is. It appears. Now, I'd recommend going and playing with some stuff, trying different codes and making some cool stuff appear. You can actually put these codes within your normal Word document too, for example, or Pages document if you're using an Apple computer. But you would have to use the Alt code word in front of that. So it's a little bit different, but it works the same way in some respects. So you can go ahead and look, for some tables. Go ahead and look everywhere. Once again, there's different tables, so that number 169 might be a different symbol in a different table. You just have to find an HTML ASCII code. And so as you can see, there are thousands and thousands of characters. Every language character is in here. You technically could write everything in ASCII code. It would be extremely long and non-legible in regards to someone who reads English, but the computer would have no problem whatsoever. So go ahead and put in your web page an ASCII code. Copyright is a good one because then you can put copyright, and you can put your name, for example, and you can put the date. And if you put the copyright symbol, technically everything on that web page is copyrighted from that moment on. So that's a good way to protect your work as well.